Every day, millions of people hit record. They share their lives, their families, their dreams. We watch, we subscribe, we trust them. But some of them were hiding something. This is the YouTubers that became murderers, Iceberg. At the surface, cases that horrified the world. In the middle, names you've forgotten. And at the bottom, where death was streamed live for thousands to watch. 7 creators, 7 tragedies. Let's descend. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Case 1. Chris Watts, The Perfect Family Lie. Chris and Shanann Watts ran a family vlogging channel from their home in Frederick, Colorado. Shanann documented everything. Their 2 daughters, Bella, 4 years old, and Celeste, 3. Birthday parties, family vacations, bedtime routines. Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant with their 3rd child, a boy they planned to name Nico. To their thousands of followers, they were living the perfect life, a beautiful home, a happy marriage, 2 little girls who adored their parents. But the camera was lying. In early 2018, Chris started an affair with a co-worker named Nicole Kessinger. He changed, lost weight, became distant and cold. Shanann's videos from this time show her confusion. In one, she talks about how Chris has been pulling away. Behind the scenes, Chris had stopped wearing his wedding ring. He told Nicole he was basically separated. He was planning his new life. But he had a problem: his family. Chris didn't want a divorce. He didn't want custody battles or child support. He wanted his family gone, erased completely, so he could start fresh with no baggage. On August 13th, 2018, Shanann returned home from a work trip around 2 a.m. They had a conversation about separation, and Chris made his decision. Shanann Watts was 34 years old. She was pregnant. She had 2 daughters who loved her, a family who adored her. In the early morning hours, Chris took her life in their bedroom. Then he woke up Bella and Celeste. He told them they were going on an adventure. Both girls got into his truck. They trusted their father completely. They didn't know their mother was already dead in the back. Chris drove to a remote oil site. When they arrived, he took both daughters' lives. He buried Shanann in a shallow grave. He placed the girls' bodies inside oil tanks filled with crude oil. Then he went to work, like it was a normal day. When Shanann's friend couldn't reach her that morning, she called police. Chris came home acting confused and concerned. By evening, he appeared on news cameras, begging for his family to come home. Millions watched. Millions believed him. But investigators didn't. A neighbor's security camera showed Chris loading his truck that morning. He failed a polygraph test. His body language was wrong. He seemed annoyed, not desperate. On August 15th, just 2 days later, Chris confessed. He lied at first, blaming Shanann. But eventually, he admitted the truth. He killed everyone. His motive was simple. He wanted a new life. His family was in the way. Chris Watts pleaded guilty and received 5 life sentences without parole. Bella's last words were, "Daddy, no, don't kill me." She watched him kill her little sister first. The Watts family YouTube channel is still online. Videos of smiling children, a pregnant mother excited about her baby boy, comments from followers who never knew what was coming. For months, thousands watched their videos, and admired the perfect family. Every smile was uploaded, every moment celebrated. But the camera never showed what Chris was planning. On August 13th, the perfect family disappeared forever, and the only person who knew the truth was the one behind the camera. Case 2. Elliot Rodger, The Manifesto. Elliot Rodger's YouTube channel was a window into his mind, and no one was paying attention. He posted videos from 2013 to 2014, sitting in his car, talking to the camera, his voice calm, almost casual. He called them his vlogs. The videos had titles like, "Why do girls hate me so much?" and "Life is so unfair because girls don't want me." He talked about loneliness, rejection, how he deserved love and attention, but women ignored him. His subscriber count was small. Maybe a few hundred people watched. Some comments mocked him. Others felt sorry for him. Most people just scrolled past. But the videos got darker. He started talking about revenge, about how society owed him something, about how everyone who rejected him would pay. He smiled when he said these things, like he was sharing a secret. On May 23rd, 2014, Elliot uploaded his final video. It was titled, Elliot Rodger's Retribution. He sat in his car, he spoke directly to the camera for 7 minutes. He explained exactly what he was about to do. He called it his day of retribution. He said he would punish all the girls who rejected him, all the men who had better lives than him, everyone who made him feel invisible. He laughed. He said tomorrow would be a day the world would never forget. He uploaded the video. Then he sent out a 137-page document he'd been writing for months. He called it My Twisted World. It was his manifesto, a detailed explanation of his hatred, his plans, his reasoning. And then he started. That night in Isla Vista, California, near UC Santa Barbara, Elliot killed 6 people and injured 14 others. He started in his apartment, 3 young men who were his roommates, stabbed while they were home. Then he drove to a sorority house. He wanted to get inside, but couldn't. So he shot 2 young women who were standing outside. Catherine Cooper, 22 years old. Veronica Weiss, 19 years old. Both students with their whole lives ahead of them. He kept driving through Isla Vista, shooting randomly. Christopher Martinez, 20 years old, was in a deli. He died at the scene. 3 others wounded by gunfire. Elliot fired over 50 rounds. He drove through the streets hunting for more victims. Police chased him. He exchanged gunfire with them. Then he shot himself. The entire rampage lasted about 10 minutes. When police went to his apartment, they found his roommates. They found the manifesto saved on his computer. They found his YouTube channel. Every video was still up. Every warning sign documented. His final video had been online for hours before the attack. People had watched it. Some commented, "Is this real?" Others said, "Someone should call the police." No one did. Elliot's parents had actually called police weeks before. They were worried about his videos. Officers went to his apartment for a welfare check. They talked to Elliot. He seemed polite, calm. They left. If they had searched his apartment that day, they would have found the guns, the ammunition, the manifesto saved on his laptop. They would have found everything. 6 people would still be alive. Elliot Rodger's YouTube channel became a manifesto for online extremism. His videos are still referenced, still shared in dark corners of the internet. His name became a symbol. But before he was a symbol, he was a YouTuber, posting videos. building a digital record of his hatred, warning everyone exactly what he was planning. And his 400 subscribers watched, and YouTube's algorithm suggested his videos to others, and the world kept scrolling until May 23rd, when the warnings became real. Case 3, Randy Stair, Ember's Ghost Squad. Andrew Blaze was Randy Stair's YouTube channel. He made animations, fan content based on Danny Phantom, a cartoon from the 2000s. His videos had a small but loyal following, a few thousand subscribers who loved his creativity. But in 2016, something changed. Randy created a new series. He called it Ember's Ghost Squad. It featured a character named Ember, a ghost girl with supernatural powers. In Randy's animations, Ember was violent. She killed people, lots of people. The animations showed shootings, blood, death. His subscribers noticed. Some commented that the content was getting dark. Others thought it was just edgy animation, just creativity. But it wasn't just animation. Randy started posting videos of himself, talking directly to the camera. He said he was transgender, that he identified as Ember, that he didn't belong in this world, that he was ready to cross over and become a ghost. He posted videos with titles like "Gonna Catch 'Em All," with footage of the Columbine shooting. He talked about how he admired the shooters, how they escaped this world. In his final months, Randy uploaded hours of content, video diaries explaining his plan. He called it his suicide mission. He said he would become Ember, that he would transition into the ghost world, that people would finally know his name. He picked a date, June 8th, 2017. He worked the overnight shift at Weiss Markets in Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, a small grocery store. Usually only 3 or 4 people working overnight, stocking shelves, quiet. Randy brought 2 shotguns to work that night. At 11 p.m., he blocked the exits. Then he started shooting. Terry Sterling was 63 years old. He'd worked at the store for years. Victoria Brong was 26. She was studying to be a nurse. Brian Hayes was 47, a father. All 3 were shot and killed while trying to run. Randy hunted them through the aisles. He fired over 50 rounds. Then he turned the gun on himself. When police arrived, they found his phone. His YouTube channel was still logged in. The last video he uploaded was titled "Goodbye." It was a montage of his Ember character with a message. June 8th, 2017. The day I transition into the spirit world. Investigators found everything on his channel. Months of warnings, detailed plans, videos explaining exactly what he was going to do and when. Over 100 videos, thousands of subscribers, hundreds of comments. Dude, are you okay? Someone needs to check on this guy. Is this serious or just a character? No one called the police. No one reported him. His family didn't know about the channel. YouTube's algorithm kept suggesting his videos to Danny Phantom fans. Randy Stair documented his entire plan. He gave the date, he explained his reasoning, he posted it all publicly for anyone to see. And 3 people went to work on June 8th and never came home. His YouTube channel stayed monetized for 3 days after the shooting. Ads played on his manifestos, on his Ember animations, on the videos where he explained how he was going to kill his co-workers. The internet watched him descend into madness in real time, and no one stopped him. These cases were impossible to ignore. The media coverage was relentless. The trials were public. Justice was served. But as we descend, we enter cases the media moved on from. Stories just as dark, but buried by the algorithm. Case 4. Steven McDaniel. Steven McDaniel had a small YouTube channel, maybe 500 subscribers. He posted videos from his apartment in Macon, Georgia. Philosophical rants, conspiracy theories, long rambling monologues about society and law and justice. He was a law student at Mercer University. His videos showed a man with flat affect, monotone voice, dead eyes. He never smiled, never showed emotion. His apartment was dark in every video. Just him, talking to the camera. His neighbors knew him as the quiet guy, polite, kept to himself. He lived in an apartment complex popular with Mercer students. One of those students was Lauren Giddings. Lauren was 27 years old. She'd just graduated from Mercer Law School. She was brilliant, kind. She had job offers lined up, her whole future ahead of her. She lived one floor below Steven, and Steven was obsessed with her. He had been for months, maybe years. He would watch her, follow her routine. He broke into her apartment multiple times when she wasn't home. He stole her underwear. He installed software on his computer to track her movements. He had videos of her, photos taken without her knowledge. Lauren had no idea. On June 26, 2011, Lauren's friends reported her missing. She wasn't answering calls. She missed plans. Her car was still in the parking lot. Her door was locked. Police arrived to investigate, and Steven McDaniel was right there, playing the concerned neighbor. He told officers he'd seen her a few days ago, that she seemed fine, that he hoped she was okay. He offered to help search. He seemed worried. Local news showed up to cover the missing person story. A reporter approached Steven in the parking lot, asked him about his missing neighbor. Steven agreed to an interview. He stood there in a graphic t-shirt and shorts, spoke in that same flat monotone from his videos. "I last saw her maybe 4 or 5 days ago," he said. His face showed nothing, no concern, no emotion, just blank. The reporter asked more questions. Steven answered mechanically, like he was reading from a script. Then the reporter said something. "They found a body in one of the trash cans." Steven froze, completely froze. His mouth opened slightly. His eyes went wide. For a full 10 seconds, he didn't move, didn't blink. He looked like a machine that stopped working. I think I need to sit down," he finally said. The footage went viral years later. That moment of him breaking, that 10-second freeze, it's one of the most chilling pieces of evidence ever caught on camera. Because Steven already knew about the body. He'd put it there. Police discovered Lauren's torso in a trash bin outside the apartment complex. She'd been strangled, dismembered. Steven had used a hacksaw. He'd taken her body apart in his bathtub, piece by piece. When investigators searched Steven's apartment, they found everything. His computer filled with videos of Lauren, searches about how to dispose of bodies, the hacksaw, her underwear, zip ties, duct tape, a detailed plan for breaking into her apartment. His YouTube channel became evidence. His videos showed his psychology, his detachment from reality, his lack of empathy. Investigators realized he'd been documenting his worldview for anyone to see. The warning signs were all there. Steven McDaniel was arrested and charged with murder. He eventually pleaded guilty to avoid trial. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Lauren's family gave victim impact statements. They talked about her dreams, her intelligence, her kindness, how she wanted to help people through law. Steven showed no emotion during sentencing. That same flat affect, From his YouTube videos, dead eyes, nothing. His YouTube channel was eventually deleted, but the news interview remains. That 10-second freeze. That moment when he realized he'd been caught. He'd played the concerned neighbor perfectly, acted worried, offered to help search. But when the reporter said they found the body, his mask slipped and the camera caught everything. Case 5. Samantha Wohlford. The staged kidnapping. Samantha Wohlford had a social media presence in Titus County, Texas. She posted about her life, her marriage to Ernie Ibarra, photos of their home, the appearance of a normal couple. But the marriage was falling apart. By early 2015, Samantha wanted out. She wanted Ernie gone, but she didn't want a divorce. She didn't want to split assets or deal with the legal process. She wanted him dead. Samantha started recruiting. She contacted 3 men: Octavius Rhymes, Jonathan Sanford, Jose Ponce. She convinced them to help her, offered them money, told them what needed to happen. The plan was simple. Make it look like a home invasion, like strangers broke in, took Ernie, and she was just another victim. On February 2015, the plan went into motion. Ernie Ibarra was kidnapped from their home. Samantha called police hysterical. She said armed intruders broke into the house, that they tied her up, that they dragged Ernie out, that she couldn't stop them. She gave detailed descriptions, played the terrified wife perfectly. Police arrived and took her statement. She had marks on her wrists from being tied up. She seemed traumatized, shaken. Everything pointed to a random home invasion. But investigators had questions. The crime scene didn't add up. Details in Samantha's story didn't match the evidence. The way she was tied up seemed staged. Her injuries looked self-inflicted, and her behavior during questioning seemed off. Police started digging into phone records, text messages, digital evidence. They found communication between Samantha and the 3 men. Messages sent before the kidnapping, plans being discussed, money being promised. The evidence was clear. Samantha orchestrated everything. Investigators confronted Sanford and Ponce. Both men eventually pleaded guilty. They confirmed Samantha hired them, paid them to kidnap Ernie, and they told police where to find the body. Ernie Ibarra was found dead, murdered after being taken from his home. The man Samantha promised to love, to stand beside. She paid 3 strangers to take his life. Samantha Wohlford was arrested and charged with aggravated kidnapping and murder. She was tried in 2 separate counties, Titus County and Camp County. In March 2017, a Titus County grand jury sentenced her to 50 years in prison for aggravated kidnapping. In September 2017, a Camp County jury found her guilty of murder and sentenced her to 99 years in prison. The judge ordered both sentences to be served consecutively, not at the same time, one after the other. Her total sentence is 149 years. According to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, Samantha Wohlford will be eligible for parole in February 2040. She'll be an old woman. Her maximum sentence date extends to the year 2164. She will likely die in prison. Ernie Ibarra's family gave statements at her sentencing. They talked about the man she took from them, the life she destroyed, the betrayal of someone who was supposed to love him. Samantha showed little emotion throughout the trial. She'd staged the perfect crime scene, played the victim, called 911 crying, had injuries to prove her story. But text messages don't lie. Phone records don't forget. and the 3 men she hired eventually told the truth. Samantha wanted a fresh start. She got 149 years instead. Case 6. Diana Lovejoy, the Fitness Channel plot. Diana Lovejoy ran a fitness YouTube channel. She posted workout videos, healthy eating tips, motivational content about overcoming obstacles and becoming your best self. She had a few thousand subscribers, people who trusted her advice, who saw her as an inspiration. She was also going through a divorce. Diana and her ex-husband, Greg Mulvihill, were in a brutal custody battle over their young son. The marriage had ended badly. The divorce was worse. Court dates, lawyer fees, fighting over every detail. Diana was losing ground in court. Greg was getting more credibility with the judge. The custody arrangement wasn't going her way. She was running out of money, running out of options. She needed Greg gone. Diana knew a man named Weldon McDavid Jr. He was a gun instructor, former Marine. She'd met him through shooting classes. They'd become close, and Diana saw an opportunity. In September 2016, Diana and Weldon made a plan. They would lure Greg to a remote location. Weldon would shoot him, make it look like a robbery gone wrong. Diana would have an alibi. And with Greg dead, the custody battle would be over. On September 1st, 2016, Diana sent Greg a message. She said she had information about hidden assets, money from the marriage he didn't know about, but she couldn't discuss it over the phone or in public. Too sensitive, too important. She told him to meet her on a dirt road in Carlsbad, California, late at night, away from cameras, away from witnesses. Greg was suspicious, but he went anyway. He wanted answers about the assets. He brought a friend with him for safety. They drove to the location. It was dark, isolated, no streetlights, just dirt roads and empty fields. Greg got out of the car, started walking toward the meeting spot Diana had described. His friend stayed in the vehicle. Then a voice came from the darkness, a man's voice. It was Weldon, hidden in the shadows. He had a rifle. Greg didn't get down. He turned to run. Weldon fired. The bullet hit Greg in the side. He collapsed. His friend heard the shot, saw Greg go down. He drove toward him. Weldon fired again, missed. Greg's friend got him into the car, rushed him to the hospital. Greg survived, but barely. The bullet had done serious damage. Police launched an investigation immediately. They knew it wasn't a random robbery. Someone had been waiting for Greg, someone who knew he'd be there. They pulled Diana's phone records, found messages between her and Weldon, text conversations planning the meeting, discussing the location, coordinating the timing. They checked Weldon's movements. His vehicle was tracked to the area that night. Forensic evidence placed him at the scene. Both Diana Lovejoy and Weldon McDavid Jr. were arrested and charged with attempted murder and conspiracy. The trial was lengthy. Prosecutors presented the phone records, the text messages, the evidence placing Weldon at the scene. The premeditation was clear. When the verdict was read, Diana Lovejoy fainted in court, collapsed on camera. Dramatic, but it didn't change anything. Both were found guilty. Diana was sentenced to 26 years to life in prison. Weldon received 50 years to life. Greg Mulvihill survived. He has custody of his son now. Diana lost everything she was fighting for. Her YouTube channel preached wellness, empowerment, overcoming obstacles through strength and determination. And she tried to overcome her divorce by hiring someone to kill her ex-husband. Her subscribers had no idea The woman giving them fitness advice was plotting murder. Case 7. Stars Replay, the live stream. Stanislav Reshetnikov went by the name Stars Replay online. He was a Russian live streamer who broadcast from his small apartment in Moscow. His content was built around donation challenges. Viewers would pay him to do things. The more money sent, the more extreme the task. His girlfriend Valentina Grigorieva, known as Valya, appeared in most of his streams. She was 28 years old. Over time, the content became increasingly dangerous. Both of them would drink heavily during broadcasts. The challenges escalated from uncomfortable to degrading to outright dangerous. On December 2nd, 2020, Stars was live streaming while both he and Valya were heavily intoxicated. Hundreds of viewers were watching. Someone sent a donation of approximately $1,000 with a request. They wanted Valya taken outside onto the balcony in her underwear. The temperature in Moscow that night was negative 15 degrees Celsius, approximately 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Stars accepted the challenge. He made Valya strip down to her underwear and forced her onto the balcony. He locked the door behind her. The entire incident was broadcast live to his audience. Valya was trapped outside in freezing temperatures, wearing almost nothing. She tried to get back inside, but the door remained locked. Several minutes passed while she was exposed to the deadly cold. Some viewers in the chat begged Stars to let her back in. Others encouraged him to leave her out longer. When Stars finally opened the door, Valya collapsed immediately. She was showing severe signs of hypothermia. Her body temperature had dropped to dangerous levels. Stars attempted to revive her on camera, but she wasn't responding. Valentina Grigorieva died of hypothermia while the stream was still broadcasting. Hundreds of people witnessed her death in real time. After she died, Stars left her body visible on camera and went to sleep without calling for help. Police arrested him the following morning. The entire incident had been recorded, every moment documented. The donation that paid for the challenge, the chat logs showing viewer reactions, the footage of Valya dying. Stanislav Reshetnikov was charged and eventually convicted. In July 2021, he received a 6-year prison sentence. Many considered this punishment far too lenient for causing someone's death. Valentina Grigorieva was 28 years old. She had a family. She had a life beyond being content for someone's live stream. Her final moments were broadcast as entertainment. Her death was monetized. Some viewers had tried to stop it. Others had paid for it to happen. A woman froze to death on camera for less than $1,000 while hundreds watched. The platforms eventually removed the content and banned Stars, but the footage had already spread across the internet. Her death became something people shared, discussed, turned into reaction videos. Valya died for a donation challenge, for views, for money that went to someone else. And every second was streamed live.
7 cases, 7 different YouTubers.
Different countries, different motives, different victims. But look closer. Isolation masked as content creation. Mental health spirals documented in real time. Warning signs visible to thousands but ignored or misunderstood. And in some cases, the audience became participants. These weren't just criminals who happened to have cameras. They paid for it to happen. The platform didn't create these tragedies, but it gave them a stage, an audience, and sometimes a reason. The perfect family, the passionate creator, the entertainer, all hiding something monstrous. Because on YouTube, anyone can be anyone until they can't hide anymore. These stories need to be remembered, not for the killers, but for the victims.